Hi there, I'm Wendy Wild, owner of Matterflow Advisors, and today I'm going to show you how to build an automated workflow in Lawmatics to capture Google reviews from your clients when the matter is closed or the end of the work is done. So make sure to download the instructions that you see here in the link in the description. And if anything here looks too complicated or it's something you'd rather just have somebody build for you, you can certainly do so by also clicking the link in the description, and I can take care of it for you. So I want to walk you through what it is I have here in front of me so that you understand how to use it. And this is what I call the Lawmatics build pseudocode. So what I like to do is name everything that I'm going to be building, identify all the action nodes that will exist in the automations, and I like to create the form and its name, all of the questions or custom fields that might be included, and then all of the email names, subjects, and bodies of those emails so that I can just copy and paste quickly when I'm doing my build. All of this is the planning that happens ahead of the build. So I have a note here too that says create the form first for a more streamlined build. And so we can go into Lawmatics and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm already in the assets custom forms and I've clicked on my Google review satisfaction survey. A default form only has the first name. So I'm going to go ahead and add the last name. And then what I like to do is I have this pseudocode and all of these questions here. And so instead of creating each one and spending the time at the beginning for this purpose of this video, one thing you can do is open the advanced block, add an instruction block, and then just paste the questions in here that you wanted to use. Now, when we come back to the form will exist for the purpose of automations, and then we can simply add these as individual questions when we get back. So now we'll hop over into the automation section, and you'll note that I have in the search bar Google review. I do that so that I can track things as I'm building. So whenever I'm building a pipeline or a workflow, I like to include some kind of bracketed name so that it's easy to find. So if I want to make edits down the road, they're easy to search for. So let's get going. For the automations, we're going to capture the name, and the entry condition is the substatus is hired. So I'll copy that, create a new automation, paste the name. I'm going to make all of it for hired statuses and hit create. And then match on fields substatus is equal to closed. Now this is a custom substatus, so if your firm doesn't have it, you can do that. You can add it in the settings section. I like to do a hired closed and a hired active so that you can indicate which portion of the process they're in. And then I've got the email, Google review satisfaction survey 1, and I can click here. And instead of building it in the email section, you can just create that email right here, give it a name, go down to the email, copy the subject, and then copy the body. And what I have here highlighted in yellow is what your firm will need to add or change that's custom. Now, when I go back in, if I like to do Command Shift V, which pastes it without formatting, so then it gets all the default settings inside of Lawmatics, and then I go ahead and change the first name, and I want to include the link to this form, which I can find in the custom form fields. Because I already made it, it's easy to add here. And then I'm going to delete firm email signature because I can simply do that in the action node, slide out to the automation target from firm email and attach the signature. Then I have a 3-day delay right here, and then the second email. So I'm just going to grab that second email right now, go back into the automation, create 3-day delay. Add the next action node, which is an email that I'll need to create. And I've already copied that there. Go ahead and grab the subject and then the body. It looks like here I've forgotten the link. So emojis and symbols. And add that form link again. Now, there's not actually a Google review, other than the question in the form, there isn't a Google review link or anything. That's really just what we're labeling it because it fits into this workflow. Delete firm email. And then here, this says firm name. So I'm actually going to grab that as a merge field so that I can install it later in a firm like you or yours. So I've got all my merge fields there. Go ahead and save that, attach signature. And then there's an exit condition in the pseudocode, which is exit if the client satisfaction survey form is filled. So go ahead, open the exit condition, form filled, Google review, and save. So instead of getting both emails, if they complete the form after the first email, they'll exit the automation. Then we have our next automation where we actually ask for the Google review. And then the entry condition is based on the service you received. Would you be willing to give us a 5-star review? So we'll go ahead, go back out to automations, create the next, all hired. And since we're doing an entry condition, that's a custom field. Five-star review is equal to yes. Save. We're going to send to the next email that we're going to create. This is the only action, create Google review, request 5-star review. And then we can go down here to grab the subject. Of course, you can change any of these subjects if they don't meet sort of the language or tone that your firm would typically ask. Whoop. Command Z will undo, and I can go back in and do that. And then this is where you would insert your firm's link. If I were to do the install for you, I'd capture that ahead of time so that we could install it on your behalf. And this looks good. Go ahead and hit save. Oh, my name's already been taken. I must have already created that email. I'm going to change the name a tad bit just so that you can see that save. Since you don't have these in your firm, that won't matter. And there's no exit condition on this one because we're only emailing them once. There's no reason for it to naturally exit. It'll automatically exit when this email is sent. So you are all good here. And then we can go back in and I'll show you what this form looks like and how you can create that really quickly. And then of course you'd want to activate your automations. Here is a spreadsheet of all the custom fields. Like I said, I'd be happy to share that with you as well so that you don't have to create them manually. So let's go hop into that custom form, Google review client satisfaction. Now here we can say in this search bar, how well did the attorney understand your needs? And then how would you rate, if I could type, our responsiveness on a scale of 1 to 10. And then I'm actually just going to type on a scale. And then you can see a bunch of them pop up. So I'll just drag all of those. And then how confident do you feel? So you can see how this is a little bit easier. Considering outcome. And then based on your service, would you give us the review? So we can go back and reorder these. If the order feels important to you, you certainly can do that. But I did have this additional conditional logic. If less than 7 for firm communication, let's have a pop-up box. So let's see. Understand your needs. All right. So here we can create a general form only field that is if less than 7, please make this a text area so that it can be more space for them. And then we'll do conditional logic where it says, how did the attorney understand the needs of your case? Is, and we can do, or let's say, is not 10, 9, or 8. We'll make those ors. So effectively, if it's not 10, 9, or 8, 7 or below, then that will pop up. And then we are good to go. And I will just show you what that looks like real quick so that you can see first name and then the questions look here. Now that's still there. All we have to do now is exit out of it and we are good to go. Go ahead and save that form. So in roughly 12 and a half minutes, I showed you how to do a Google review pipeline. Again, if you would find this interesting or want to build this out for yourself and would like my outline here, the pseudocode, feel free to capture that by clicking the link in the description.